Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. It's time again for Mayday Plays Starforged. Hi, Zakiya.
Hello, that was so cool.
I was thinking today of David Bowie. I thought, oh, he's got a great song that is relevant to our silly little show. Um,
Love that.
I have to, we were talking a little bit behind the screen. I love that the space whale meme has really taken on. Wasn't expecting that, but you never really do when you play these kinds of games for the things that catch on that they do.
It's good to make a religion when you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And a religion we have made with our new character, Nader. Let me, I guess, kind of catch us up on what has been going on. It's been 2 weeks since we've played. I had a little bit of work, a little busy, just didn't have the time for it, but we are back making the time. So, the last time we played, Zach, Nader and the rest of the Ironlanders, only being about like 34, 35 left, we kept sacrificing them. They were boarded by a jungle ship. We were right on the cusp of entering a new Stargate and going to a different sector when the jungle showed up. And they were described by Amanda as basically Amazon employees, wearing the uniform and having non-lethal weapons. They had these stun guns that they could very easily take over the ship and stun all of the other Ironlanders. And they spoke to us. They interrogated us in a very like passive aggressive corporate bureaucracy kind of way, and they learned that we were the Ironlanders. We were that experiment out in the void, and so they turned our ship around and started heading to return us to the homeland. And Nader wanted none of that, and KB and Nader worked together to have KB take over the other ship, kind of sneak into the brains of the ship and kind of take over. But it took a little time and a little effort. And when KB had enough control of the ship, Nader, using his iron speak, using his sign language, told KB to shut the power down, shut the lights off, and he escaped. And Nader then maneuvered through the ship to get to a part of the ship that KB needed him to get to so that he could take full control. And in the process, Nader learned a pretty amazing revelation. He found this map room that had a map of the Ironlander homeworld. And he learned that the Ironlanders were not just any old experiment. The Ironlanders were an experiment to try to create a group of humans that could survive impossible situations or difficult places, and probably for the purpose of colonizing other places and stuff. And Nader was shaken by this news and now has the shaken condition. And we decided that Nader has a deep hatred for the jungle, has kind of like Captain Ahab style decided that, he's going to make it his personal mission to see that the jungle suffers for what they've done to us. Along those lines, we were able to take over the ship, and Nader just kind of savagely sacrificed all of the jungle employees or crew and shunted them out of the airlock, all of them dying, not before taking all of their costumes and their uniforms, their weapons, and their ship. So we now have 2 ships, and Nader decided to go through the Stargate. We decided to continue to explore the Expanse because we want to find a home still for the Ironlanders. In the process, we gained some prisoners who were aboard the jungle ship. We call it a shark-class ship because it's kind of shaped like a shark, but more importantly, it's just a dangerous ship. It's got a lot more weapons than our previous ship had, that KB has. And so we're picking up this next game with you in a new sector of the Expanse. We need to define what this Expanse is like, what this part of it is, and we need to talk about who are these prisoners that we have? Are they all, gung-ho for this? Have any of them converted to space whaleism?
Mm-hmm.
The important questions we need to ask
Right.
this session with you. So I think maybe the first thing we should do is define what is the new sector we're in, okay? The way we are going to do that is we're going to build a sector. Normally this is used for when you start a brand new sector, but I think we can also use it for when we're just building a new one. So because we're in the Expanse, there are only a few bold pioneers who have delved these far-flung reaches. If you're ready to face the dangers of a lonely exploration with uncharted space, start here. That's the prompt for the Expanse. In the Expanse, there's typically only 2 settlements, which means that there can be more than 2 settlements if we decide on it, but really the main parts of this area are just like 2. There's like there's just 2 big things that we can call like major influences in this sector.
Okay.
So, with all of that said, you can decide either a settlement name, the location, the population, the authority, or the settlement project. If we want to decide whether there's a settlement, I suppose we should kind of maybe let's decide the sector name as the first bit of kind of setting the scene.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to ask you to roll a d100, and why don't you roll 2, in fact, because that will determine.
Okay.
I like that
28.
I like that you roll. It says rolling 1d100 double exclamation mark. I've never seen that before.
I have no idea what that means.
I wonder if
just
that's
clicked
you.
the regular button.
Okay, maybe I've just never noticed it before. Either way, we rolled a 26 and a 65. All right.
Yeah.
So we could be the Delphi as a prefix, and as a suffix, 65, which is pit.
Delphi pit?
The Delphi pit. I'm trying to understand what I have here. So we could go prefix suffix of 26 is Delphi or deep. The suffix is deep. And then of 65 it's Mobius or pit. So it could be the Delphi pit or the Mobius deep.
Oh, they're both fun. Okay. Delphi pit sounds great.
I could tell you liked the Delphi pit.
The pit is such an ugly word to put in the name of something. I have to support it. Yes.
Okay, so we'll say that we have arrived in the Delphi pit. Does anything immediately come to mind as what does it mean? What does the Delphi pit mean? Why is it named that?
I'm thinking about the Oracle at Delphi, so I'm thinking spooky, intelligent bitches, but the pit, which means they're like rejected. So think Doc Brown, like a bunch of Doc Browns.
So spooky Doc Browns.
Yes, a bunch of spooky prison Doc Browns. Or no, not prison. Wrong group. Just spooky Doc Browns.
All right, these spooky Doc Browns. What are they? I mean, what are they doing here? Is there a settlement? Are they on a ship? We can roll to decide that.
Yeah, can we roll for their project? I think that'll help.
Okay.
Hone it in if we can.
Let's go to 104 and let's see here. So create a sector, create passages, make a connection. Okay, so there's the sector trouble, or I think that's probably the best way to go. Roll a d100 and let's find out what the sector trouble is. Maybe they're working on something here.
Okay. Say 3.
3. A blockade prevents trade with other sectors. A blockade prevents trade with other sectors.
Okay.
Prevents trade with other sectors.
A blockade.
I'm not exactly sure what to do with that yet.
Yeah.
Maybe we should decide what type of star we can find here, because I think that will also start to shape our idea of what's around here. So roll another d100, and we will decide the stellar object, the main stellar object in this area.
21.
A 21. a glowing orange star. So there is a totally normal glowing orange star at the center of this place.
Okay.
That didn't really give us much to work with, but that's okay. What about... We can roll... So there are planets, settlements, starships, and vaults. There's also creatures, or derelicts. Maybe we can roll a d6 and decide which of these things might be here. So we'll say a planet is 1. You already rolled, didn't you? What'd you get?
I did. I rolled a 5.
All right. I was going to say planet 1, a settlement is 2, a starship would have been 3, a vault would have been 4, and then I would have said a creature would have been 5. Okay, interesting. And then derelict was 6. All right, just for the future, so we remember this.
Okay.
Okay, so we rolled for a creature. Let's see what kind of creatures are here. Maybe these creatures are part of the blockade or being a problem. Now, we need to decide what the environment of this creature is. Are they space, interior, land, liquid, or air? Roll a d100 to find that out.
57.
57. That is liquid. So it is some kind of creature that lives in liquid. Now we need to decide the scale of this creature. Roll another d100.
Okay. 27.
27 is a medium person-sized. So it's a person-sized creature that lives in liquid. And now that we've figured that out, let's see. We could roll a d100 and there's a list of types of creatures you might find. If you want, roll one and there's a liquid category. We can see what it comes up with.
Okay. I have an idea, but I want to see.
All right, let's just see what it says.
29.
29. Under 29, it is a fish or torpedo. A torpedo-shaped fish is basically what it's saying here. Now, I think we should always lean towards what the players are thinking. What's coming to your mind about what is this creature?
I have Googled what the enemy of a whale is, and it is an orca.
An orca.
So it's a killer whale.
Okay.
I think that these are space killer whales.
Human-sized space killer whales.
Yeah, so they're smaller than the Earth orcas as we understand them. They're like a little bit smaller,
Right.
But they're space orcas. I don't see why they would need to look like. Well, I guess I think the black and white is really important, but I want them to have like 4 more fins.
Okay, yeah, they've got
It's like
quadruple fins on their back.
Yeah,
I like that. I'm thinking of did you ever watch that cartoon show what's the shark one? There was like shark something. There were like anthropomorphic shark men. What was the name of that show? I'm sure if there's somebody in the chat from the 80s that remembers this show, it was anthropomorphic shark men that were, like they're basically like the Ninja Turtles, basically,
Street sharks?
Street sharks, that's it. Okay, so they did have a killer whale character in that show. But anyway, I love this idea. Are these related to the issue that the Doc Browns are having, which is the blockade? We said a blockade prevents trade with other sectors.
Yeah.
In what way?
Okay, so it's liquid related. I think that these space orcas behave like beavers and have overpopulated whatever we're at, whatever we're on, and have literally built a barricade from anything getting in or out of the settlement. Yeah.
Now, we're in a whole sector, so it's not just necessarily a settlement. So you could expand it to where they are not allowing anyone in or out of a particular Stargate. There's typically 2 in every sector, an in and an out. Or maybe it's just that on their planet they are preventing or facilitating some kind of blockade. either way, because they're water, I want to say that if they're out of their home planet, they've got to wear like breathing apparatus that like allow them to, breathe like through their gills or whatever. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. They're breathers, so they can breathe air.
Yeah.
So I'm being silly. So that's not even. I just feel like they'd have to be like in wetsuits or something, like things that keep them. If you remember from Free Willy, you had to keep them wet to survive. You know what I mean?
Okay.
so they have like Fremen style suits that like keep them wet.
That works.
Okay. All right. So do we want to decide the name of these orca men?
Yes. Should we roll?
Yes. Now I'm getting a weird little buzz here, and I'm not sure if it's me or you.
It's definitely me.
Are you touching like your mic in a weird way or something?
My headphones
act
up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, the sound is much better now.
Okay, cool. We'll just do that every now and again, but it's fine. It's not the mic. Okay, yes, we're gonna roll for the title of these orchids.
Okay, I don't have an orca species rolling name table, but maybe we could find one. I don't know.
I got this.
Okay, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna roll a D26, and that'll guide us on our way.
Okay, why D26?
For the alphabet.
Ah, I see. I'm looking forward to seeing you remember what letter corresponds to what number in the alphabet.
Oh, absolutely not. Lots of Googling happening here.
All right. Let me Google too then.
Okay, so I rolled a 19, which means S. Okay, so they start with...
Okay.
Okay.
S. So let's see, words that are S. Chat, feel free to... Words that are S related to, like, water, orcas, fish, that kind of thing. So there's seals, there's sardine, they could be the Sardinians.
Sardinians? Okay. Orca spelled backwards is sacro.
Oh, okay. Schooner says Eli. Sewer says Parker. The Stuari says Mirrored Onk.
Oh, wow. Y'all are coming through. Okay, wait.
Shamu says Parker.
Parker?
I really like orca spelled backwards as well, so it's down to you, Zach. What do you think you want to use?
I gotta honor the history. I don't know if Shamu is a property that we could play with,
it doesn't matter. We're on Twitch. We're live streaming.
Okay.
We're not doing anything bad. Shamu's not a trademarked name that we can't use, although it probably is trademarked. But it's not a big deal.
Okay.
So with that said, are they just the Shamu? Are they the Shamusians? Like what?
This is the Sacro Shamu.
Sacro Shamu. I love that name. Okay. So, orbiting a glowing orange star, there is a planet that has the Sacro Shamu, and that is their name.
Yes.
Maybe let's decide what kind of planet they live on. Let me find the planet table. Here we go, 144. Let's see what we get here. All right, now... Because they are fish people, it wouldn't make sense for them to necessarily be on a desert world. There is the option of jungle world, ocean world, tainted world, or vital world.
Ooh. I like vital. I feel like ocean is implied. There's some like water involved.
Okay.
And
vital world, let's go to that. This diverse, life-bearing planet might provide some small measure of hope. Let's decide the atmosphere. Roll a d100.
Okay. 44.
44, it is breathable. We are in the expanse. Let's decide the type of settlement here. Or we could decide there's a planet-side settlement of these, of the Sacro Shamu.
Yeah, let's let's see what else is here.
All right,
I
roll.
think they're here, but there's other stuff.
Go ahead and roll the d100. Yeah, there is the possibility of having multiple settlements.
71.
71 under the expanse is... It says none. There are no settlements.
Well,
Which
then never mind.
It doesn't necessarily mean... Like, I could feel like the Sacro Shamu don't count as a settlement because maybe they originate from this planet.
Yeah.
So it's basically like... It's an untouched world. Kind of the first intelligent life that humans have come across, which might explain why there's some issues, some trade issues. Observed from space. Let's roll another d100 and see what we can observe from space.
76.
76 is unusual day or night cycle. So this planet has a unusual day or night cycle. Maybe multiple moons, maybe...
Oh, yes. I like multiple moons because I think that means whatever the tide is on this planet, the ocean is rising and falling at random times.
Ah, interesting. Random times, so it's maybe somewhat unpredictable. And maybe it's really intense, too. Like, maybe, giant tidal waves, constantly wash over the land. So maybe there's not a lot of land creatures. It's, mostly aquatic creatures.
Yeah.
Intense lunar cycle creates big waves, tsunamis, etc. Okay. Diversity. Let's roll another d100 to determine the living diversity here.
Did I do it once or twice? Okay, cool.
Just
80.
once. Okay. Complex. There are at least 4 biomes to this planet. We don't have to come up with every single one, but that means, maybe there's a water biome, but there's also, a small amount of land biome. Maybe there's a prominent air biome, since the land is so hostile. Maybe there's a lot of things that live in the air.
I think if it's mostly an ocean planet, there's gonna be one space volcano somewhere.
What do you mean by space volcano?
I mean, that's fair. I said it like it's a thing.
Unless you mean a volcano so large it reaches into space, which those exist.
Yes! Okay.
So maybe that's a biome.
Thank
There's a whole lava biome.
Surge. Yes.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Island's mostly water.
All right.
There's a volcano. It's so big. The lava goes up. It gets stuck because of space. So there's just a big space, almost lava lamp, pancake layer of atmosphere that's just lava.
Oh, so you're saying almost like a ring around the planet, it is cooling lava?
Yeah. It doesn't even have to go around the whole planet. It could be just like a 40% cover.
Well, I mean, over the course of millennia on this planet, I feel like a giant volcano like that would create meteors that are circling the planet. You know what I mean? So maybe there is a ring around this planet. Ring due to giant active volcano. Do we want to name this planet? Is it just called Sacro because that is where the Sacro Shamu or what? The Sacro Shamu are from.
I like that.
Okay.
This is Sacro.
Okay. Let's we'll say that the planet is called Sacro. The killer whale people are called the Sacro Shamu. And we have our, I think, first interesting place. So somewhere in this sector, there is a planet that, let's see if I can find a water planet and roll 20 to drop into our board. Might be hard, but let's see. If not, I might just do planet. The point is that is one of the locations. Now, use that brilliant mind of yours, Zakiya. How do we tie this blockade with the Sacro Shamu, with humans? I guess we could roll an oracle roll to decide whether the jungle has a presence here or not.
Okay. So there's a big ass star, big golden
Orange glowing
orange.
star. Yep.
There's an orange star at the heart of the volcano, kind of like this. Yeah, yeah, at the heart of the volcano. That's not how stars work, but it is today, and that's what's motivating the volcano to erupt.
You're saying that
However,
like the gravitational pull from the star?
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Cool.
the jungle needs that as an energy source. So
The planet or
what
the
if
star?
the star?
Gotcha.
So what if the Sacro Shamu formed a blockade at the mouth of the volcano to prevent other people from getting to the star?
Because the volcano is on Sacro,
Yes.
and the star is somehow an influence in the planet's history of that giant volcano. You're saying that there's some kind of power source between the two.
Yeah.
In my mind,
Like,
like I have a mental image of imagine the planet, imagine the star, and imagine the volcano like jettisoning stuff into space, and there's like this line of meteors that go all the way to the star.
yeah.
I don't think it would really work that way because like things would just kind of spread out over time. But I'm trying to just draw that parallel between your idea.
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. If the star were inside the volcano, I don't think that would be a thing. That
I
would be
don't.
hot.
Yeah, that. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that would work unless these people are very advanced and have a star and their planet. We've already decided that it's a planet as opposed to like a Dyson sphere that is like built around the star.
Yeah.
Parker Woodley says blockade is preventing space Japanese from reaching the planet, probably to kill all the whales. That's a tasteless but funny joke, Parker. Thank you. Let's continue. I think let's read again our little prompt here. It says a blockade prevents trade with other sectors. But I mean, perhaps the Sacro Shamu simply don't want to trade with us and have somehow shut down one of the Stargates and is working on shutting down the other when we come through or something. And now we've got to deal with them.
Okay, I like that. Maybe it's the easy. I mean, how are we doing? Both of our ships doing like supply wise?
Well, supply-wise, we're okay. Nader has a supply of 3, but that doesn't necessarily represent, everyone on our ship. Since we have 2 ships, I would assume we're doing okay. I mean, we're certainly better than we were at the beginning of last episode. So I would imagine morale is pretty high. So.
Okay. So we don't need to stop. But I like. Okay. So yeah, we have 2 gates. The Sacro Shamu have taken down 1 gate,
Right.
and they're well on their way to doing the other one.
So if that's the case, then when we come out the other side of this Stargate, we're probably going to encounter them.
Yes.
Let's keep that in mind. I think we need to decide on one more settlement or thing in this area. So we can roll a d6 to determine a planet, settlement, starship, vault, creature, or derelict.
2.
A 2, which is going to be a starship. Let's go to page 164. Maybe this is a Sacro Shamu starship, or maybe it's a jungle starship. Either way, let's roll a d100 to determine the class, the type of ship.
That is 11.
That's a courier ship. Typical role is fast transport. So there is some kind of courier ship here. And we should decide whether there's a fleet or not. I don't know. Because there's a fleet as an option. Well, we could decide that right now. Roll a d100 and let's see if there's a fleet with these folks.
Oh gosh, a jungle fleet would be great. 2.
Just a 2?
Just a 2.
A battle fleet is the type of fleet.
Okay.
So a courier, which is fast transport. I guess we could decide. See, I guess the option is: do we want to decide a starship or a fleet. Because, yeah, I think that's probably... Let's decide whether it's just one ship, a courier,
Okay.
or whether it's a battle fleet. Which do you prefer?
It would be... A courier would be easier,
Okay, true.
but a fleet would be fun.
Right. If it's a courier, I guess we need to decide whether it's the Sacro Shamu or whether it's the jungle. You know, maybe the jungle has a courier ship in here trying to, you know, make a... it was trying to, you know, get from one sector to the other before the Shamu shut it off, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's like stuck inside?
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe it's kind of on the run in this sector, if you like that idea. So there is a jungle courier ship somewhere in here. Let me add that to our list of stuff. Jungle...
So now it's like
what are you saying?
Rescue mission. It's low-key a rescue mission now.
Well, if we decide, I mean, Nader doesn't have a very good opinion of the jungle, but
right.
who knows what advantage we could have if we help them or something. So there's also an initial contact and a first look. Maybe we could just roll on these to see what inspires us. So roll 2d100s. Let's see what we get.
25 and a 16.
So with a 25, we have a neutral or automated as the initial contact. The initial contact is neutral or automated. And then what is this? What is the second roll you made?
16.
16 is dark or stealthy. We can choose to keep these or not. But the first look is that there is something dark or stealthy, which makes sense about a courier ship.
Mm-hmm.
And or it's neutral and or automated.
I kind of want to re-roll neutral.
Okay.
It feels a little middle.
All right, roll another d100 for our initial contact with these folks.
64.
64, that is hostile.
Nice. Okay.
You asked for it. You got much
did.
more interesting. So I guess what we can decide is that when we have initial contact with them, they will be hostile. We haven't necessarily met them yet. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Hostile first contact, and that they are dark and stealthy. Dark and stealthy first look.
Okay.
With all of that said, there is a starship mission that we can roll on, but we kind of already decided that it was a courier ship trying to get out. There is the option to... One of the missions was trying to break a blockade listed here in the starship mission. Or blockade a location.
Roll to locate the blockade?
No,
or try to...
basically I'm just telling you up front that we could decide that these folks are trying to break a blockade, they're trying to help with the blockade. It kind of seems the thing that makes the most sense is that they're just stuck here and they're just trying to get out. So they're probably trying to break a blockade, you know?
Yeah.
They're trying to break the blockade created by the Sacro Shamu. We could decide the starship name. Roll a d100. Let's see what the starship name is.
22.
22. Excalibur. You like that name?
Beautiful.
All
yes.
right, all right. Excalibur it shall be. So the jungle courier ship Excalibur.
It is stuck on a stone.
Yep. Ooh, that might even be kind of interesting if there's like a meteor wedged into it or something.
That's cute. I like
Let's
that.
find starship. Let me try to find an image for that. That'll work. No. Let's see. It's harder to find than you'd imagine. Well, we'll use this. This is a random internet image that we'll say is the Excalibur. I'll name this Excalibur. Has a nameplate, and our planet is called Sacro. Nameplate. Okay, great. All right, so we have our two major things in this sector. And we have a pretty good idea of what's going on in this sector. There is an intelligent species that is trying to keep humanity out by shutting down the gates. We, however, are coming through one of the gates. Do we want to ask the Oracle if a Sacro fleet is here, Sacro Shamu fleet is here, or are they not yet here?
Yes.
I
we wanna
think
ask.
I think it's likely that they are here. Or would you rather better odds of 50-50?
This is the one open Stargate, right?
This is the one Stargate that we're coming through that is open that led to the
Yeah.
previous sector.
Yeah, then they're here. That makes sense. Because
Okay.
they're actively trying to close it.
Got it. So we'll just decide that they are here. Let's ask the Oracle, how big is this fleet? Is it a small fleet, a medium, or a large fleet?
D100?
A D100, but before you do that, let me pull up the Ask the Oracle. How certain are you that, obviously we would prefer a small fleet. Is it a small fleet? If so, I feel like it'd be unlikely it's a small fleet.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure if these are the only dudes on the planet and they have access to all the resources and no one else, I think they have a lot of time to build up.
Gotcha.
Especially if they like want to take it for themselves now.
So a 76 or greater, yes, it is a small fleet. So roll a D100, 76 or greater, a 68. That's
Okay.
not it. So it's either medium or large. I'm going to say 50-50 for medium. Roll another D100, 51 or greater, yes, it is a medium fleet. I don't think that's much better, to be honest, but we'll see what happens.
30.
No! So it's not a medium fleet, which
It's
only
huge.
leaves one. It's a large fleet.
Great, good, and safe.
So could you paint the picture for me? We come through the Stargate, and what do we see on the other side?
Okay. I think the gate opens and it looks like a stage, because I think I'm picturing Sakura Shamu as just really buff orcs with hands.
Yeah.
But I think they have like legit waterbound ships, but as you go back the ships start to like float and fly, so it just looks like you're in a theater in the round, and it is hundreds of ships,
Interesting.
all like, I mean, some of them are like busy, like moving supplies back and forth so they can
Sure.
actually close this gate, but a good like 40 to 50% of them are just like someone is opening the gate and turning their attention toward our ship. Which, does our ship have a name?
The OG ship of ours, I don't know if it has a name. I feel like we may have named it at some point. Let me see. Let me pull up. Would it be half Ashana? I think it might have been Ashana or Nakata that we may have written it down. Let me look here real quick. Summary. I don't know if I'm going to find the answer. No. What about Nakata? This is such an important, pressing question. We've got to get the answer.
If not, the OG ship is a great name for a ship.
Yeah, just the OG Ironlander ship. And the shark ship, I don't think we got a name. If you want, we can roll for a name.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll a D100, and let's see what our... it's basically like a Corvette light attack ship.
60.
60 is... the Photon.
That's beautiful.
So the ship name is the Photon. So now we know. I'm going to write that down under Nader's info, so we don't forget that.
Okay, Eli said the ship was called KB, but is that a person?
KB is the artificial intelligence aboard our old ship.
Right. Okay.
So we'll call it OG for now, and we'll say Photon is the Corvette Shark class that we have taken control of. So both ships come in. We see that the Shamu are deep in the middle of whatever they were doing to shut the Stargate down. What's the next move? Do we need to decide whether the Shamu are successful in shutting down the gate, or is that something that will come with time? Is that relevant to us at all?
I think right. Yeah. I mean, I guess what if we roll and they're successful, does that mean we're stuck on the planet too? Like they've
Well,
successfully closed the other gate?
we're not stuck on the planet. We are in space on this Stargate. Don't imagine like the Stargate from the movies. Imagine like a Stargate in space. So our ships come through. We're in space. We're surrounded by a fleet of them. We're nowhere near their planet, their homeworld. It's a matter of deciding: do we try to run from them? Do we try to interact with them? And then kind of going from there, because
Okay.
I'm going to imagine they're going to be somewhat hostile towards us.
Yeah, I think I just kind of want to say hi
All right.
because if we act too strange with the ship that we stole, that seems like making more trouble.
Yeah. Not to mention they see and probably recognize the jungle ship that we have, so they're going to probably be hostile towards us. But you're saying Nader wants to try to reach out to them before they shoot at us or whatever, and make peace.
Yeah.
Now, Nader's strongest attribute is Shadow. Let's look at his assets real quick. We have Explorer, Gunner, and Devotant. If you ever try to secure an advantage or gain ground by bringing up your religion, or if you try to hearten using your faith, you get bonuses. You have a favorite gun of yours. And whenever you come across a wondrous sight or an extraordinary planet or phenomenon, you can roll +1. When you secure an advantage by studying a newfound place, you can add +1. None of these are particularly relevant to the moment, but what I'm saying is that if you try to compel these guys not to kill you, it would be best if you try to use Shadow, which generally means you're going to lie or swindle them in some way.
Yeah.
So with that said, how do you think Nader will approach this?
I think he's going to make it seem like, I mean, I guess they are space pirates, but that's not what they set out to be. So he's very much going to be like pulling a Blackbeard. This is a part of the plan.
Ah,
Would you like to join in on this? Maybe like a multi-level marketing. You steal ships for me, and it trickles down. The wealth of all of my ships trickles down to you.
the Nader is also a zealot, so he might also try to preach about the beauty of whaleism.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely the will of the whale. Jesus.
You see how it just rolled off your tongue so naturally? That's the brilliance of Zakiya, is that you just come up with stuff like this. The will
terrifying.
of the whale.
It's the will of the whale to
If we roll well enough, maybe these Sacro Shamu already worship space whales in some way. You know what I mean? Like we might already have an advantage. So it sounds like we're trying to compel these folks, unless you would like to form a connection with them, forge a bond, make a connection, something like that. Which do you think is the better role?
I think I want to make a connection.
Okay, I like that. When you search out a new relationship or give focus to an existing relationship, you will roll +heart. Before you do that, let's just triple confirm here. Worship a god, da-da-da. You're not really securing any advantage, so you can't do that. I think you pretty much just have to roll with heart, which is not a terrible stat for you. But let's see how you do.
Okay.
Hey!
The will of the whale.
Very good. With a strong hit, you create a connection. Give them a role and rank. Whenever your connection aids you on a move closely associated with their role, add +1 and take +1 momentum. So let's write that down so we remember. We need to, let's see, connections. We're going to create a connection. They are the Sacro Shamu. We're going to add some details. Their home is Sacro. Descriptors, they are... I mean, we rolled a strong hit. Do you want to decide that they, like, are already, like, devotants of the whale?
Yeah, I think they know of the whale. And, I mean, I picked orcas because they're the natural enemy of the whale.
Oh, yeah, good point.
But maybe it's like a yin and yang thing. Like, they don't hate the whale, they're just the opposite of the whale.
I see. So it's almost like whatever... It's almost like you want to do the opposite of what the whale does, like, I guess, you know, like, would be the creed.
It's like trying to like religions that are based off of getting out of your body
Okay.
and like ascending.
Okay.
So they we convince them, or at least some of them already have the notion that as whales they are incomplete and need and need to ascend. As orcas they are incomplete and need to ascend to the will of the whale.
Oh man, how do we find ourselves in these interesting places? Okay, so we create a connection. We're going to give them a rank. I think that because they're relatively xenophobic of humans, it's at least a formidable rank. Like it can be easy to piss them off. We just have gotten an advantage, right? Whenever they aid you, take +1 on a roll. So I'm just going to say I'm going to copy that over. Whenever, here we go, copy. Whenever your connection aids you in a move, we can roll +1. So we've made a connection with them on a strong hit. Sounds like, you know, they are game. You know, they like that we worship the whale. They like that we've stolen a ship from the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that even if Nader describes our plight, hey, we're just trying to find a home, would the orcas offer their home, or would they offer help in any way?
I think they would at least offer help. They kind of seem like they don't want anybody else there.
Sure.
But yeah.
Now here's
I
the
think
thing.
they'd at least offer help.
They've shut off one of the stargates. They're working to shut off the other. How can they help other than to find a home or I don't know, just give us the right to move along without being attacked?
Can we ask them if they are if there are any good places nearby? Other than that, I think it would have to be here.
All right. I don't think in this sector there would be, but maybe they know of another sector where there is something that would be useful to us, an empty planet of some kind. I think we need to compel these guys, now that we have a relationship with them. When you try to persuade someone or make an offer, envision your approach. Are you going to charm them, threaten them, or lie or swindle to them? And remember, you can add +1 because we are associated with them now.
I'll just try to charm them.
Charm them, you're going to roll heart +1.
Heart +1.
Hopefully another strong hit.
Nope.
All right. Well, weak hit. Weak hit's better than a miss. On a weak hit, they'll do what you want or agree to your conditions, and you may take +1 momentum, so go ahead and increase our momentum. But their agreement comes with a demand or a complication, and envision their counteroffer. I was hoping for this because I don't think these guys are going to let us through without helping them in some way, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to make a vow to have these people help us. What do you think that vow might be? I think immediately coming to mind might be go find that courier ship for us and deliver it to us.
Yeah.
That's a vow.
Okay. I like that.
You like that?
I like that.
All right, so we are going to make a vow to find and return the courier ship lost in the sector. Okay? The jungle courier ship. And I think Nader would be totally down because he already hates them. How difficult of a vow do you think this is? Dangerous, troublesome, formidable, extreme?
I think it's formidable. It's not too wild.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not too wild. Yeah. I would maybe even argue for dangerous because it's a courier ship. It probably doesn't have a ton of weaponry, and right now we're outgunning them.
Okay.
So for the sake of it, we'll say it's a dangerous quest or a dangerous vow. But we need to make a vow. We need to what's the role here? It's under quest. Swear an iron vow. You are going to roll plus heart. If you swear a vow to a connection, you can add +1. So go ahead and roll heart +1 to swear this iron vow.
Okay, weak hit.
A weak hit. You are determined, but begin your quest with more questions than answers. You may take +1 momentum and envision what to do to find a path forward. Which makes sense. We're like, in the middle of a sector we aren't familiar with. They tell us to just go find these people. We don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
If we technically have a jungle ship that we stole, is there a sort of find my friends feature on the ship that we could use? I mean, we've never used it before, so you have to learn how to use it.
Right.
But that might be able to sort of help us.
I love the idea. It's either an oracle roll or we just do a secure an advantage or gather information roll.
Gather information feels right.
Let's see. When you search for clues, ask questions, analyze evidence, or do research, you're going to roll plus wits. However, Nader, I do believe, has an asset that helps him with this. Let's see. No, this is just for gaining ground. You could secure an advantage and pray to your god and possibly have a +1 for that. But it's a little different than the gathering information.
Yeah. I mean, if we do secure an advantage for Explorer, is a newfound place the ship we stole at this point? Because we've been in it for a while.
When you secure an advantage by studying a newfound place, I feel like you'd have to find that place first. Maybe we could argue that it's the place is the entire sector. Maybe we do just like a radar sweep.
Yeah. Okay.
Then go ahead and secure an advantage. You're gonna roll +1, and when you secure an advantage, you are rolling. Well, it depends on what stat you want to use. You can roll wits for observation.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll wits +1.
Wits +1. Weak hit.
Weak hit. All right. We are on a weak hit. You may choose one. You can either take +2 momentum or add 1 to your next move, which is pretty handy.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to be okay. We can add 1 to the next one.
All right, but because of your asset, you will still be able to add 1 to your momentum because you did hit, so now we're at a 4.
Ooh,
or a 5, excuse
yes.
me. Well, did you increase the momentum for the last roll? Because you should have.
Yeah,
okay.
We were at a 3.
All right, so we're at a 4.
So yeah, 4. We're good, yeah.
Great, so we have a +1 to start with, which we could, if you wanted, use it on a undertaken expedition. We're going to go out into this sector to find these foes.
Yes.
So with that said, let us undertake an expedition. We can move with speed, under the radar, or we can stay vigilant.
I don't think we need to be under the radar. Let's stay vigilant.
Okay, roll with wits, +1. Let's double check as an explorer if there isn't anything. Yeah, no, explore a waypoint. When you find something, when you secure an advantage. Nope. I think you're just going to roll wits +1.
Okay. Yeah.
Whoa, strong hit with a match. That's a critical success. On a strong hit, you reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress per the rank of your expedition. So I'm going to increase your... let's go to your vows real quick. We're going to increase this by 2. It's a critical success, so you can either decide for yourself what the best case scenario is, but we can still maybe roll as to what we find. Or I'll even allow you to gain another 2 progress in return for making it the best possible outcome.
Okay.
You can have a total of 4 progress as opposed to 2, or whatever we roll, you can decide the best possible outcome.
Let's do the second one.
All right, so we're going to keep our 2 progress. Let's decide what we come across. We're going to find the space-borne opportunity. Why don't you roll a D100, and we'll find out what that opportunity is.
44.
44. A friendly settlement in range. A friendly settlement in range. So we find a friendly settlement. Is it the Sacro Shamu?
Immediately I'm thinking that the courier is hiding out with these people, whatever this other settlement is.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know if they would be Sacro Shamu. I think they're united people. So I don't think it would be them.
So it's not Sacro Shamu.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's someone else.
Is it jungle forces, or is it some other kind of alien species?
I don't know.
All right, we can decide.
Yeah.
Let's ask the Oracle if it's. How likely do you think it is that it's jungle forces of some kind? By the way, I don't know if you can hear this, Zach, but my neighbor is blasting. What's they're called? They're from Canada. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully not. But
No, I
just
can't.
blasting music right now. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah. You're all good.
51 or greater, or how likely do you think it is that these folks are jungle related, or are they something else?
I think let's keep it simple. I think they're jungle related.
Jungle
and the likelihood,
related. Okay.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
likelihood of them already being on this planet or already being in this area is really high.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense that there's not just one courier ship here. You know, there's probably other little pockets of jungle-related forces. However, a friendly settlement. So they are friendly to us, I would assume, being the best-case scenario. How do you justify that?
Ooh.
Maybe they're just like completely outmatched and outgunned, so they're just like, we surrender.
Yeah, they're just trying to like survive.
Yeah.
Like, they're not trying to overtake anything. They just want to make it through. And the fact that we aren't Sacro Shamu is nice.
Sure, yeah, they're probably very happy. They probably are not even questioning, you know, that we're human or not. Let's decide, you know, this friendly settlement, where is it? Its location. Roll a D100.
84.
84, it is in deep space, although that doesn't make much sense. We've already decided that. Let's go with the expanse. There are thousands of them, it says, for 84. The population is in the thousands. First look, if you'd like to roll a D100 for the first look, to decide maybe a little bit more detail about these guys.
18.
That is built within a repurposed ship. So this settlement is built within a repurposed ship. And there are thousands of them. That makes me think of like a, you know, maybe there was a settlement ship, like a colony ship that was sent here before they knew there was the Sacro Shamu.
Yeah, and then, I mean, they probably didn't, probably like a Roanoke situation. Did not go well for them. But the survivors, the people that did survive, are just here to make it to the end of the day, and then this courier ship has just been like absorbed into that group.
Ah, I see. Okay. So there were maybe once millions of these folks, but now there's only thousands. Eli says this is reminding them of Raised by Wolves. Here's the challenge. If the courier ship is with them, our mission is nowhere near completion. We've only have 2 progress out of a possible 10. There's got to be some complication. Maybe we find these folks, this friendly settlement, but the courier ship has left to go do something or something. You know what I mean? There has to be a reason why we can't complete our task yet.
So we have to... We've honed it down to a certain area, but we need to convince them to tell us where they went in this area.
Okay, all right. Got it. So the ship is not here. We've decided that for sure. But we need to try to compel these guys to tell us where they've gone, right?
Right.
We need to make a compel move. What stat are you using to make this compel move?
I think we're definitely lying to these people.
Yeah? And how are you doing that?
I think the fact that we've made it this far and haven't been, because we still have like the Mm-hmm. The smiley face, as it were, on the side of our ship that lets
Mm-hmm.
this is a jungle ship.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we've gotten this far is very much like these people have at least talked to the Sacro Shamu. It's unlikely that they've killed them all, so it's weird. It's weird that they're here and on our side. So I think
Well,
he's
actually, it
trying
makes
to
total sense
just
because we forget we have this jungle ship, so we could lie and swindle by pretending we're like here to save them or something.
yeah, yes,
Okay, so Nader helming the Corvette class ship, the Shark class, tries to lie and swindle to these folks. We're here to help. We just need the courier. We need to find the courier ship. So roll Shadow, and let's see how you do.
okay, we get.
A weak hit. All right. Um, they will agree to your conditions, but they have a demand or a complication. Envision their counteroffer. So there's something complicating the situation where they can't give you the exact information without something.
Hmm. What if they? I'm trying to think. We don't have much to give them.
Maybe, hmm. Maybe they demand some kind of help. There's probably a lot of injured, a lot of dying people. Maybe.
Do we
Yeah,
give them like some of our supply, or I know we have prisoners, but they're prisoners to the jungle.
yeah,
Like, we don't need to move them around.
right. I like your idea of maybe making a supply roll to see if we can sacrifice enough to appease them.
Yeah.
But then that means okay, all right. So they know. So we're deciding that they know where the courier is, but they need our help first before they'll tell us.
Yeah.
All right, I like that idea. Let's make a. There's a particular roll for this. We're going to. Where is it? Withstand damage. Sacrifice resources. When you lose or consume resources, you're going to reduce our supply. I'm going to say this is a serious loss because there's a lot of people that probably need help. So we're going to reduce it by 2. So our supply goes down to 1. And if your supply is exhausted, mark unprepared. When you suffer a loss of resources, envision how this causes your hardship and apply the cost to a different suffer move. If you're unprepared, which we're not. So basically, there's not anything we have to roll on. We just lose 2 supply.
Okay.
All right. They agree to tell us where it is. How do we decide where it is? We can roll on the action and theme table to maybe get an idea.
I think yeah. Yeah, I like that.
All right, so let's see what they tell us. Action, theme, descriptor, and focus. So between action, theme, descriptor, and focus, which of those categories would you like to roll on first? And we'll just roll 2.
Let's do focus
All right.
first.
I like
And
that.
then theme.
Yep, roll a d100, and let's see what the focus of wherever they've gone is. Maybe they had a mission of some kind.
36.
36 is grave. Grave like you're digging a grave. So the focus is grave. Let's unless you have a brilliant idea, let's just roll one more. There is action, theme, and descriptor.
Okay. Let's do I mean it's a grave.
It's a grave.
Theme
Yeah, go ahead.
theme could be weird.
It might conflict with it a little bit, but maybe not.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if we get like joyous,
Right.
that would be a lot.
That would be interesting. Well, either way, roll a d100 and let's just see what theme we get. It might help, it might not.
95.
Ooh, that's a big one. War
Scares me.
is the theme. So, grave war, a war grave. I'm kind of thinking like the courier went out to like perform a ceremony and like get like shoot out the dead into space. You know how like that happens in Star Trek and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I see your face. You're like not 100% on board.
I'm like I'm just thinking that's really we have to capture them, and they're in the middle of. Yeah, I kind of want to roll a different theme.
So you
That's
don't
so
like.
mean.
Yeah, I know it's mean, but also you got to remember Nader is like hating these
That's
guys. You know,
true. He's shitty.
he would not care that they're trying to do some kind of ceremony. He probably does not
That's
respect
true.
any jungle ceremonies. So we learn from these guys that the courier ship has gone off to jettison their best warriors into space after their deaths or whatever. So that's what they're doing, and I would assume this also includes like the rough whereabouts of where they are. So I think we need to continue our expedition to now get to them. Where are they doing this? Are they doing this in deep space, or are they doing this on a planet? We can roll for it if you'd like.
Let's do it on a planet.
Okay, so they want to find some kind of planetoid. It's not anything too major, because there's not a lot in this sector. So we'll say that there's some planetoid that they want to land these bodies on. Let us continue to undertake an expedition by... Where are we? We're going to... There we go. So are we rolling with edge, shadow, or wits?
Wits.
We are staying vigilant. We are rolling with wits. Go ahead and do that. And let's see how you do.
Weak hit.
You've been rolling good this game. On a weak hit, you will reach a waypoint, but this progress is going to cost you. So first, we're going to mark progress on undertaking the expedition, which is going to be... it's under our vows. It's going to be 2, so we now have 4 out of 10. But this progress costs us. We either have to make a suffer move at -2 or -1, 2 separate suffer moves, or we face a peril, which is just a D100, and we find out what that is.
Let's do 1 suffer move.
Well, it'd be 1 suffer move, but you have to make... Excuse me. It would be 2 suffer moves at -1 as opposed to 1 suffer move at -2. That's
okay.
the difference.
Okay, then no.
Generally, Maydayers pick face apparel because it's just a D100 and it's just a little bit easier to deal with. But you could make a suffer move if you like to suffer.
I do. I do. Okay, yeah. Let's do the 1 suffer move for -2.
All right.
Or is it definitely? Definitely 2 suffer moves. Okay. Cool.
No. You can make 1 suffer move at -2. So with that said, I guess we should find what the waypoint is before we figure out what kind of suffering we endure.
Okay.
So let's do. Let's see. What is it again? It's a waypoint. We have to decide what kind of waypoint. Let's just roll. Let's see, 138. Page 138 is a encounter. Let's roll a D100. I don't know if this is exactly the right roll for us, but let's just try it.
75.
75 on our space encounter table is a fiery energy storm. Which...
Like a volcano?
Well, a fiery energy storm. It could be debris from the volcano. That would mean we're close to the homeworld of the Sacro Shamu. Maybe it's just like, it's like jettison debris that, we come across. So it sounds like we are, the ships might be withstanding damage.
Yeah.
That seems to make sense. So
that's great.
When we do that, let me pull up that. All right, when your vehicle faces a damaging situation, and I think we should decide which ship takes damage. In fact, would we have left KB back with the settlement or something? Like, would we have kept them out of the fray and just sent in this Shark class ship?
I think so, because that's the one with all of the weapons and the armor, and the other one sort of has majority of the
Okay.
like people and soft goods and things like that.
Gotcha. So there's a
Yeah.
limited number of crew on this shark class ship as we go hunting. So this ship is going to withstand damage. We'll say that it has full integrity. Let me pull up the ship. It's at 5. We're going to reduce it to 3 because of the -2. And then you're going to make an integrity roll, which is just +3. But let's look at your assets real quick. Sorry, we share a character sheet, so sometimes this happens. We don't have any kind of special modules for the ship, and as a gunner, there's nothing there. Secure an advantage. Yeah, no. So we're just going to roll +3. So use whatever stat if you want to use Shadow. We're going to roll +3 to see if we can withstand our integrity.
Yeah, we'll call that Shadow.
Well, what I'm saying is we're just using the +3 modifier. That's all that's important.
Okay.
Strong hit.
All right.
On a strong hit, you may choose one. You can either bypass the damage and take +1 integrity. Actually, ignore that. Or you can write it out and take +1 momentum.
+1 momentum.
All right. We want to make sure we raise our momentum. So that goes up to 5. But our ship now has taken a couple of hits. Maybe some lava is still sticking to the ship. Not in the best shape, certainly for entering a battle. But with that said, I think we can make another undertake an expedition roll as we continue. Oh, wait. No, yeah, I guess we kind of decided everything about this waypoint. We're going to take another expedition. Are we moving with speed, under the radar, or with vigilance?
Let's try moving with speed. If the storm... I mean, we took some damage. I think it's more like... Let's go.
Let's hurry this up. You're going to roll with edge.
Okay.
Edge happens to be one of your worst stats.
Yes, it is a miss.
Yes, it is a miss. Our first miss of the game. On a miss, you are waylaid by a crisis or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship or threat. Do not mark progress and pay the price. So please roll a d100 for me for us to pay the price.
8.
An 8. You create an opportunity for an enemy. You create an opportunity for an enemy. What are your thoughts?
Create an opportunity for an enemy. We don't really have any outright enemies in this situation.
Well, the only enemy would be the courier ship.
Yeah.
And maybe we have found ourselves in a situation that gives them some kind of advantage.
I mean, if they've been out here and they're used to doing this ceremony, like, I mean, it seems like they would have more intel about how to, like, steer and get back and avoid the, like, worst end of this firestorm. And at this point, it's like, we just need help.
Yeah.
We're stuck out here.
Yeah.
Like, we had it all together and now it's very bad. So I think giving an enemy an opportunity is, like, the dynamic has changed.
For sure.
We're still hunting them, but we also need them now.
Okay, so maybe what it is, if you want to decide that, is that they get tipped off about us, like they now know we're coming for them.
Yeah.
I like that. So how does that happen? How do they learn about us?
I think if we're close enough to be picked up on their, because we've been tracking them this whole time.
Right.
We've got to be close enough for them to see us now too.
See.
And we've been swerving in space.
Yeah,
badly.
yeah. Maybe that's what it is they've noticed like our pattern, like our flight pattern is odd, and they can immediately tell that it's a ship of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So with the jungle courier ship getting the up on us, they now know that we're after them. I think this is a pretty good place to bring our session to a close, because the next person is going to have to figure out how they're going to outsmart these guys. Because I assume when we find them, they're going to be ready for us.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Well, great session, Zakiya. Thank you for helping.
Of course. I made it so much worse.
You could say that about everybody's session. It always ends up getting more complicated. We
I
have
feel
to.
good about the Shamu.
Yeah, no, I love the Sacro Shamu for sure. I was not expecting to create that race. Could we? Let's decide who plays next. We're
Okay.
back at the top of the initiative, I guess we could call it. You are. Let's say for now that you are 6. So if we
Okay.
roll a 6, we'll just re-roll. But we'll say 1 is who? Who do you want to put in the 1 slot?
Okay. Who just went last?
Amanda.
Amanda went last. Okay. Then.
Just
I
number them
guess-
down. Give me the numbers.
Yeah. Okay. Aaron, Eli, Leg,
Mhm.
Caleb.
Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Amanda.
Roll a d6
Yes.
and let's see who's next. Tree. Tree is Leg. So Allegra
So sorry, Leg.
will join us next time. Don't apologize.
It's gonna be fun, but
Yeah, absolutely, it'll be fun.
I made it fun for you. There we go.
Every player makes it fun for the next player. That's why we have so much fun here on StarForged. Zach, thanks again. Is there anything we need to talk about before we end our session today?
No. Right? I don't think that there's anything.
Not really. I mean,
other than
we're releasing episodes of Doom to Repeat.
yeah,
That's exciting.
yeah. Doom to Repeat season 2 is out. We're gonna take a little bit of a little baby break for Orpheus, but
little
we'll be
baby
back.
break, but you can definitely watch those episodes on YouTube if you want. We have 3 right
Yes.
now.
Take this time to catch up,
Uh-huh.
or hoard episodes before you go home to your families.
True.
Also good.
Yep. We'll have the next episode November 20th for Orpheus.
I think that's everything.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, we always have our wonderful Monday night streams with Aaron as he plays through games, and maybe if we're lucky, Leg will bless us with another Heroes You Should Know this week or next week. Maybe we'll do a one-shot on Friday. You never know. But
Yeah.
thank you, everyone, for watching. Guys, if you like what we do, remember we have a Patreon. If you want to subscribe to Twitch, it's also a wonderful way of supporting us. Thanks again, and we will see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.